Welcome to the top of the morning show. It is your girl Titi from the D. I can't believe it's Thursday. We are getting closer to the weekend. It's going to be Good Friday tomorrow and Easter Sunday. This is the 3-day weekend. People have been asking all week long, what is your plans for the holiday? Baby, rest. Okay, rest. R-E-S-T, baby. I really don't know what my plans are. I don't know. Taking it one moment at a time, right? Today's hot topic. We're going to talk about settling in your relationship. And I'm going to share with you a few signs that'll let you know, because you might ask yourself, am I settling in my relationship? You may even say, do I know anybody that's settling? And what does that really mean? Now, I know you've heard people say never settle, right? Settling has a bad reputation, right? I would say, well, some people might say, well, they're not good enough for me, or you're not good enough for them. But when you choose to just settle, that means, take it or leave it, right? And a lot of times you take it, but yet you end up later in life wanting to leave it, right? Settling is when both of your needs are not met genuinely, if at all. It's you putting someone above you in the relationship just to stay in the relationship. Then you go through, if we're going to take it to the next level, a lot of times we jump the broom, get married, end up in divorce because you're not really looking at what's going on. Now, I'm going to tell you a few things, or I should say I'll share a few red flags or things that you know, like, oh, this is not it. That's not it, right? The difference between settling and the realistic reality we live in can be crucial, because we want to be happy, yet we feel unhappy. We want to say we're making sacrifice, yet we don't know what that looks like, because we compromise. And there's nothing wrong with compromising, don't get me wrong. In any and every relationship, there needs to be a level of compromising, because we're not going to always see eye to eye, right? But when you don't see the compromise and you from your partner, and you feel like, okay, last time I compromised, and you may even bring that up to your partner, and they might be like, what? Like they got amnesia, like, no, ain't nothing wrong with me, it's something wrong with you. Then make you second guess yourself, like you got to go and have a mirror reflection moment to say, am I tripping, or am I tripping? No, you're not tripping 9 times out of 10. When you choose to settle, though, I will tell you this. Your partner will not look at it and be like, oh, you're settling. They're going to just be like, okay. And things are going to go, obviously, the way that they perhaps wanted to go that you're settling with. Might not make sense. Do it. Life is so short, yet we spend so much time with people that's not even meant to be with us. People that we know clearly, if I just walk away, everything will be smooth. But, we go through I don't want to leave her. I don't want to leave him. I don't want to leave them. And it's like, why not? Now, that's rhetorical, yet I would love to know what you're thinking. Even though we can't hear you right now this morning. It's a rhetorical question. And we got to know when we're settling. I don't think anybody enters a relationship and say, you know what, I'm just going to settle. I'm not going to try to get her to do anything that brings me joy. I'm not going to try to get him to do anything that brings me joy. We're not doing that, right? And some people might say, I didn't even know I was settling. You probably didn't. because they were able to pull off this facade that all is well and they were everything you wanted until you started living out loud. You may not even realize it, but you will notice it gradually, little by little. So I'm going to share with you a few signs to let you know if you are settling. 1, you are scared you won't get what you want. Yep. So you give in because you want it to go in your favor. And that ends up, if you're lucky, successful. But if you're not lucky, it ends up a bummer. Number 2, you suppress your personality. Right? When we say that, that means your partner loves you and accepts you for who you are or not. That's what we all want to know. We all want to know. Some of us might be a little bit quieter than others, and sometimes it's complete silence. Here's another one. You avoid talking about your partner in relationship with your loved ones because they're going to see right through it. They probably already gave you 10,000 pieces of advice. And you're like, I can't go over there and say anything to them because they already kind of see through this perfect picture that I'm painting. But guess what? Nobody's trying to purchase your artwork of the relationship you're trying to sell to people. Be mindful of that. I know that life can be short and sweet at the same time. And when we get in the business of settling, it grieves me. Because I don't feel like anybody needs to be sad. I don't feel like anybody needs to be in a relationship where they're just not happy. That is sad. That's sad. And that's definitely settling. We definitely know that's settling, right? Another way is you've been in a couples counseling and you haven't seen any results. Now, I know plenty of people who've gone to couple counseling and it worked. It was like wonderful. That I know a couple people that went and they're like, what did we get ourselves into? And it made things worse. But if we listen to our hearts and don't worry about what our mind is telling us, a lot of times we'll be successful because we all know the mind can play tricks on you. Okay? Now, this is the age-old one. I can't stand hearing people say it or show it. Oh, we stand together for the kids. What? They're hiding from your reality. Yet your reality is a facade. It's not true. They know you are staying because you're afraid of the unknown. Could be some that you're afraid of your partner or significant other, but a lot of times it's because you just can't see that going any deeper, any further. Yet you don't want to leave your children behind. You feel like, oh, if I leave, then my child or children are going to suffer for whatever the reason. But what if you guys are both successful and you decide, yeah, things ain't working out, blah, blah, blah. And, I'd say my little piece about what I'm saying, but I just look at it and say, you have no idea that people really do not appreciate from a child's perspective point of view when you stay together and you shouldn't be. And what can you say? What can you say? Except sit down and have a real meaningful conversation with your child or children. And a lot of parents always say, we want you to know that we love you and we respect and have love for one another, but we don't love each other like we're supposed to as husband and wife. Now, they may be like, why? Well, why not? And whatever the case may be. Or they could be super, super smart and say, wow, we was wondering when you was going to let that thing go, right? Just a few little things for you to ponder on this morning. I don't want to overload you or underload you. I want to give you just enough to get you through this morning. And until tomorrow morning, I want you to just think about it. Think about, even in yourself, how can you make sure you don't settle in your relationship if you're in one? And of course, if you're listening to this podcast, it's for married couples, engaged couples, couples that's been together for a long time and really thinking about jumping the broom. That's what this is all about. Until next time, it's your girl Titi from the D, and I'll see you soon.